Oh, there's Vanessa.
Okay, we are live. Okay, we are live and we have quorum, so we can start going. So I'm going to start with the land acknowledgement. I acknowledge with respect that we are on the Robinson-Huron Treaty territory and that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and known as Boating. Boating is home to Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, and the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. So if I can have someone to move and second the agenda, please. Vanessa will move it and a seconder.
I can second.
Alex is seconding it and all in favor. Okay, that motion carries. Okay, so just for background, I attached a bit of a doors open summary document, just as a reference, as well as the list of properties that were part of the doors open in 2022. So that was kind of a reference point. Did anybody have any questions about the documents? No? Okay, so our big kind of discussion points are the main things we need to decide today is really taking a look at what our date is going to be. And then looking at those potential locations and identifying partners as we move forward for 2025. And why do I not have the date on there? Sorry, I should have had the date. That was our priority number one.
I thought maybe you put it in the email that it was
Yeah.
the priority.
I think I put it in the email. So a couple of the dates that we talked about or the two from the meeting were September 27th, Saturday the 27th, or Saturday, October 4th. So just wanted to put that out for discussion, and then we can bring that recommendation back to the Heritage Committee next week.
Is either one of those dates the Truth and Reconciliation?
The 30th, September 30th is.
Oh, it's always the 30th?
It's always the 30th.
Oh, it's not always like the last Saturday. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like you know what? It's hard to say, but either the 27th or 4th are okay with me.
Okay.
They're great fall, right? The leaves are going to be perfect on those locations. I don't know. What do you all think?
Alicia, do you know of any other major events that are taking place that we would be competing with?
Can you remind me of the dates you said?
Saturday the 27th. So that's it's to kick off of the Culture Days, or is Culture Days kicking off the week before?
Week before.
Yeah. So it falls within that Culture Days time frame, which is kind of nice.
There are a lot of competing events,
Are
unfortunately.
there?
Yeah, there's Franco-Ontarian Day. There's Rendezvous happening as well.
Rendezvous on the 25th, 26th, 27th?
I think so.
Is it or is it the week?
I haven't seen it advertised yet.
Just a second. I can tell you on my sheet, actually.
I'll pull up my calendar on arts and culture, ssm.ca.
Yeah,
Since there's nothing happening on the 27th, but that's a
24th,
busy
25th, 26th. So it is leading into that
Oh, okay.
fall rendezvous weekend. October 4th. I'm just looking. This is just I just have our hi Hannah. I have our internal calendar.
that one doesn't ring as much for me. We'll just say I don't think there's much happening that weekend. It's the 19th to the 22nd, and then the following weekend, which are typically quite busy.
Yeah,
Okay.
October 4th from our recreation and culture sites. That's a little bit lighter that weekend if we went with the 4th. Do you see anything major community ones that have been forwarded to you yet?
Nope, not yet.
So that might be the better date. Does anybody have any? Is that good then if we propose October 4th?
Yeah, I think October 4th.
That's great.
Okay,
Last time we did it October 1st, which was the first Saturday in October, so
yeah,
it'll
Okay.
work out.
all right, sounds good.
I think we got a thumbs up from Hannah.
All right, so we'll move forward with October 4th as our date. So as far as the locations, I wanted to do a little bit of brainstorming. So on the one page, there's the list of the properties from 2022 that participated. There were other properties that we had reached out to, but just timing wise, it didn't fit into their schedules. So obviously we'd be reaching out to some of those properties again. So just for your background, Hannah, the museum was one of them, but just with the way the timing worked, it just didn't work into their plans for that time frame. So we're hoping this year that the museum will be available as well as some of the other sites. So just going through that, did anybody have any other suggestions or thoughts as we start to build out the list of who we'd like to try to reach out to?
I was wondering if we could get into the Bishop Farquhar Chapel this time,
Yeah, we might
get
be able to.
inside the building.
Yeah, we can see if we can arrange. So I'm just going to share one of our planning documents from last time. And we can use this again to build off of. So can everybody see my screen? Okay. So these were a number of the sites that we reached out to. You know, we had to assess whether they had parking, public washrooms. So we had to compile all of that information. I'm just going to hide the notes section because that's from the 2022 planning. So yeah, so this is that list. I think Chinook Hall. We do have the chapel on there, so we can ask.
We do, yeah. And we did have a tour like last April. I think he did a tour.
Correct. Yeah,
So
it's
that
a
would
little
be
while
fun.
ago, so we can see if we can arrange that again. So if we just want to walk through and confirm that we want to continue to reach out, and then what we can do is see who wants to be, once we have the communication piece and the date set, then we can assign people to reach out. So the public library, both branches were open last year. Or sorry, in 2022, Ermitinger Clerg National Historic Site, Algoma Conservatory of Music. So they had the loft and they had tours of
He was giving
clerks.
tours, yeah.
Yeah, so it was great. They were able to do tours of clerk's office where they have the very large map of Northern Ontario. The Northwest Company Lock, which is adjacent to the property. The Art Gallery of Algoma. Sault Ste. Marie Museum, the Sault Ste. Marie Canal, and then we had the Canadian Bush Plain Heritage Center in Atomica, Shinwalk Residential School Center. So within that grouping, the chapel, the cemetery, the Shinwalk Hall at the university, SKG was involved. Bishopshurst was doing tours, which was great.
Oh, I went on that tour. That was wonderful.
The courthouse was reached out to, but due to the fact that it's a weekend date, this one may end up being challenging just with their ability to potentially be open to provide access on the weekend.
Yeah, he was keen last time because it was an anniversary for them, but he just couldn't work out the weekend hours.
Yeah, so we can reach out to them again to see if there's a possibility, but that one may be a challenge. The museum, the St. John's Church, but this would be the Métis Cultural Center. So they now have the museum, so I'm sure they would be excited to be involved.
They were very keen last time, but they were having renovations and it didn't work out. So I would love, that's the one that I'd love to see, yeah.
Eastbourne is potentially a possibility. Beaufort was on the list. And then in the Canal District, we had the machine shop and train station. We had the Memorial Tower, Precious Blood Cathedral, and then we had a series of walking tours. So just looking at that list to see if there's anything else we'd like to look at adding in. You can you don't have to send all the suggestions now. Those suggestions can come in and we'll continue to work on compiling this list.
Did you read out Shinwalk University? Because that was a big part.
Yeah, at Algoma University, the hall. Yeah.
No, the one across the street.
Oh,
new one.
SKG, yeah,
Yeah, okay, good.
that's on there.
That was awesome.
Any other suggestions right now from committee members?
There's no
No
other
other
possibility of,
suggestions.
sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, you can go ahead. I don't have any suggestions. I just wanted to talk about Eastbourne.
Okay,
Okay,
Go ahead though, if you have suggestions.
okay. I was just gonna see if there was any other residential locations. 'Cause I think that might be a nice poll to get people in, if we can get people who own heritage homes to open those up. Just because it's something that they wouldn't normally see, you know, like whereas like the
Yeah.
art gallery, the library, the museum, you know, people can just come in and see that any other day. Whereas if we're trying to make this sort of a special event, something that's different, would it be possible to get people to do that? Like I know they used to do the art gallery tour of homes years ago. Like this would have been back like, you know, 80s and 90s, I think they did it, but something sort of akin to that.
yeah, I think that would, I think I agree with you, Hannah. I think it'd be great if there's some of the property owners that would open up their homes for a portion of the tour, or even a portion of their house, right? Like even if it's just like some key rooms or to talk about their property, even if it's just the exterior, if they're not comfortable with having people come in. So we can pull together that list and I can work on reaching out once we've got that communication piece to see if anybody's interested in, you know, an interior
Right.
tour, or if they're interested in sharing the history and the exterior portion of their house as part of a walking tour. I do agree that that would be a real draw because it would be unique.
Yeah, it could also.
Yeah, absolutely. I know for a fact that people are very proud of their heritage status. Those private residences that do have that status, and I think we would get buy-in from them, and then like Hannah's saying, we would get more pull from the community.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and then, you know, last time we incorporated some walking tours. So again, that would be something that we would look to try to pull into this at the same time. Sunny has also brought forward the concept previously of being able to do like a biking tour. So he may take a lead on bringing some
Oh.
people on a biking tour so you can kind of cover a little bit more ground.
That's a great
as part
idea.
of that. So that's an option as well.
And there's also the virtual option again this year, digital.
Yes, so yeah, thank you, Jamie. So that's one of the other pieces is we do have some digital tours. We may have a staff resource that in the event that the property owner may not want to allow a large crowd into their house, they may be open to having you know, a staff person go in and maybe do a digital tour of their property, and then those digital tours can comprise part of our page on the website where it's featuring the properties that will have in-person tours and then also the virtual tours.
When you look at some of the Doors Open sites on the Ontario Heritage Trust website, some of them have themes. And some of them do like a transportation theme or, you know, an Indigenous theme or something. I don't know whether we wanted to limit our list to only properties that are designated, possibly to focus on the heritage building aspect of our mandate. It's
Yeah.
a thought. It's a long list, you know, we. Which would, you know, eliminate the library and the art gallery and a few other buildings, but it would,
So this is, so right now, these are the different properties that are coming up. So they've got a few tour, well, 24 tours of this one.
oh, okay.
So it gives you, so this is what we have to work on building out is our webpage
Oh,
once
these
we
are
pick the date.
27, yeah. Yeah,
So-
so it's 27 is not a bad number then,
Mhm.
if we keep it going. So they have all of the entries that we had in 2022. They are still on this portal. They're just not active. So when we decide on a date and when they set up our site, they can just reactivate all the the locations that we tell them to, so it won't be as much work this year putting this together.
Yeah, it'll definitely be easier.
Because there's only so far 2 sites that are new, if they join, yeah.
Sorry, I don't know, for everybody that was online, were you able to see the screen? No way.
Mm.
Did it come up?
No, it didn't.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm just
okay,
gonna share
sorry.
it. Sorry, I'll share it so that you can see what we're looking at. So this is what the Doors Open website looks like. So we'll have a landing page here for Sault Ste. Marie. And then when you click on a particular site, you can load up all of the components of their event, the different properties that'll be available. So you'll be able to see the details on a particular property, where it's located. So this is kind of that next phase. Once we pick the date, then we start building out all the properties that are going to participate and our full schedule for the event.
Okay, that's great. What are the next steps?
So now that we have the date, I have to reach out to our contact, Gordon at Community Heritage Ontario. He'll get our date set up in the system. We'll be given all of our login access. From there, we can start to put the basics in for the event, and then we'll start working on building out which properties want to confirm. So we'll create an introduction letter that we'll give to committee members, and then we can probably divide out and see which committee members are able to reach out and then email the different contacts. We'll work through confirming the contacts at a lot of the sites, and then we can kind of divide out and see who wants to start reaching out, and then we can start to build out each of those locations.
Okay, because we take the summer off, are we going to be able to work on some of these pieces in the next, I guess, 2 months?
Yeah, and then there's still probably going to be work that would take place over the summer. But ideally, we can at least get all the locations completed. And then if some locations are digital only, then we can get some of our staff resources to help create those digital tours over the course of the summer months leading into September, so that we'll be able to load those up on site.
Yeah, sounds like a great opportunity for a summer intern for sure.
Yeah, and the subcommittee is also, if there's availability, we can meet as a subcommittee if we have like a key discussion points, especially as we get into securing volunteers. That's a big component of this event, is building out that volunteer list, because we need to have volunteers on site handing out the pamphlets, especially at the properties that aren't staffed, you know, so like places like the museum and Bush Plain and Old Stone House have staff that can assist with that. Other locations, you know, need to have that greeter that's part of this Doors Open volunteer committee helping. It could be, and I'm trying to remember, it might be a really good opportunity for some of the students at White Pines that are in the program, where they've got specific courses related to heritage. So we might be able to make a connection there with the teacher in September, so that she can reach out to some of the students. Those would be a bonus. I think we need to plan for enough volunteers to run the event. And then if those students are able to participate, that would be a really great learning experience, I think, for them, especially, you know, they're able to achieve some of their volunteer hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah, so again, too, you know, start thinking about people you may know that might be interested in supporting the event and volunteering. We will have to do a bit of a volunteer training session with them, and then, you know, it was a pretty full schedule coordinating the volunteers and you know, making sure everybody knew what their responsibilities were at each of the locations. And
Sounds good.
so I guess as next steps, we'll get this set as far as the date. We'll then be able to gain access, and we'll start to kind of create that plan. I'll share the list of all of the properties that we can potentially look at reaching out to, building out that list, and that communication piece that we'll send out to potential properties, inviting them to participate. And there may be, other organizations that want to, jump on the planning group. There may be somebody from Historic Sites Board that's interested in participating, as well as some of our larger organizations like the Bush Plain. Hannah, you're kind of doing double duty between the Heritage Committee and the museum, but we really
Yep.
want to we have linkages to our larger organizations. Maybe somebody from the library is interested in helping. Also they're a great resource as well as the museum for being able to pull historical photos and additional information that we may want to share.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, let me know if you need photos and what you need photos of. I've more or less got that covered.
Yeah, and if you want to take a peek, because you have an eye for that stuff of the drafts that we had in 2022, we may want to juggle things around a little bit, but so take a look. You may have photos that are a better quality photo that we can utilize in each of those handouts. So we did have handouts at each location so that these were printed also on very large poster boards so that you could see them, but some people did want to have an actual hard copy, so we had some hard copies, but we also had the information posted up in large format so people could review it as they went into the properties. Does anybody have any questions?
No, I'm excited. Like me personally, I'm excited for the the biking portion. That is an awesome idea that Sunny brought forward. And then to be able to connect to some of our private heritage homes, that's going to be a great opportunity. So this is going to be a great doors open.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I think this will be a great event, and I hope that this is something we can maybe do annually. It gets easier as you do it because you develop that network. When we did it the last time, it had been so many years, we had to create most of the documents from scratch, so it was a lot more work that first time. Now you still have to get your volunteers and everything, but if you can keep it as an annual, you can keep that volunteer base going and potentially growing. So I think it hopefully will make a little bit easier as we move forward to the future.
Yeah, and it sounds like I'm on the Doors Open Ontario site right now. I guess as soon as we can get that date or even our picture on the Doors Open site, that would help to create buzz, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, Gordon's expecting an update after I finish this meeting, so I've been emailing back and forth, and I said we'd have a date to him by the end of this week. So
I guess I do kind of
great.
have a, oh, sorry. I guess I do kind of have a question of how is this going to be advertised? And what is who is the base that we're advertising to, I guess?
I would say the general community we're trying to advertise to. So we have a few different means. There was a Facebook and an Instagram account that was created previously for Doors Open. I think that this becomes, getting that launched. As soon as we get onto this website, we'll have access to some of the media kit and information. So it'll be on the
Okay.
Doors Open website. We can do something
Let's
on
get
the culture page. So
and let's
Alicia,
get Sunny sorry, Virginia, but again with the social part, like with Sunny did for the walking tour, and then we had the Downtown Association, the Downtown Arts and Culture. All these people that are networked on social media, they all shared that piece. And Sunny had like so many hits on that social media piece. So if we can get Sunny to do the same thing, just keep that going.
yeah, and I think I can't remember where it was brought up in a discussion. It might have been a discussion we had with Sunny leading into the Heritage Week, is looking to see even during that time frame or leading into the summer, because it'd be a good project for the summer students to help with, and with support from the museum and the library, is reaching out to the business owners that have businesses, and if they're interested in putting up, we could get pictures printed of this is what their building looked like, before, right? So that they may not be designated, but having that historical connection as people are doing those walking tours would just add to, the tour in general. Having that kind of imagery there to show them what the buildings look like in the past.
Yeah, Joe Bambaco has some of those pictures as well.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Um,
let's reach out to Joe, Jamie. That is
Yeah,
such a cool piece.
I reached out to him for the walking tour that Sonny was going to do, and he's more than willing, so we'll just, have to work on that. Last time I had Jonathan Pinto interested in our event from the CBC, and he actually wanted to come, but he couldn't get a hotel room because of all the other events, the color tour. But I think, we could
Yeah.
probably turn to him for a bit of support and publicity,
Mhm.
and he's very keen.
And hopefully, also to what you were saying, Hannah, Alicia has the arts and culture page. And with all of our partners, so the museum, the Bush Plane, AGA, Algoma Conservatory, if they're all sharing that information on their social media, we can look at doing something on Sioux Today. They have their Spaces website, maybe an ad, maybe an
Oh,
article
yeah.
and a press release. I think we have a lot of avenues to get the word out as we start to build the event. And then if anybody has any other suggestions or connections, obviously
Well,
we
could we just do like a simple poster and have it up around town?
Yeah.
At all the sites that are participating, and that would help.
Alicia, do you think that building out a bit of a marketing plan, building off some of the ones we do from other events, is we could pull that together for the next meeting?
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. And then from there, that'll be kind of our starting point, and then we can kind of build it out with everybody else's suggestions and connections that they may have that can support the advertising plan.
Sounds good. Yeah, we all have our pieces we can bring to the table. Virginia, as always, a lot of it comes down to you and all the coordinating that you do. But I'm happy to volunteer in any capacity. Just let me know. Jamie, let's reach out to Joe and start getting those pictures. That would be great.
Yeah, you know what? I can send Joe a list of the sites that we're looking at today, and maybe just see what he can offer on those sites.
There's another property owner that I've had a couple conversations with that's very interested in heritage, and they've taken a lot of photos and have accumulated a lot of photos. I can reach out to him to see if he might be interested in sharing and potentially volunteering. He may even be interested in opening his home up. So he does have a heritage home. So I can see if that's something would entertain, and then we can bring him into the conversation as well. And he may be interested in volunteering that day.
My girlfriend, I was talking with a friend, and she was using the example for video tours of the type of video tours that you get with a real estate agent, where they have, they enter a home and they take videos, and they have their software allows you to pivot sort of. And I wonder whether that is a potential partner of somebody with that skill set of doing video tours.
Yeah, I'm just somebody gave me a name of somebody.
Oh, good.
I just have to remember.
From a real estate company?
And I wrote it down.
Good. Excellent, Virginia. Okay, so that would just give us a real polish for the video.
Yeah.
And the digital tour end of it, if it looked like that.
So does anybody have anything else before Alicia and I have a bit of work to do to get us moving forward, but and then from there we'll be able to start kind of dividing out who's contacting the different organizations. What as far as the next meeting, do we want to look at about a month out? It would take us to the week of the 21st of April, keeping in mind Monday the 21st is Easter. So not sure if Thursday the 24th might be an option again at this time.
Thursday the 24th is good.
Of April? Okay. I'll send out a meeting invite as a placeholder for everybody, and then we'll do an agenda package once we have more information and we've done our legwork leading into that.
Works for me.
Okay, great.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh,
Thank
before
you.
you run, we have to adjourn. Is there a mover and a seconder?
I can move it if you want.
Everybody's anxious. Yeah, Alex, I'm surprised you're not seconding.
No, I can second.
All in
awesome.
favor? And that carries. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm excited. I think we've got a great team to bring this event to life. So thank you.
With the email chain, I know we're done talking. Is Sunny on our email correspondence?
He didn't sign up for this committee, but
Oh,
I'll
he
make
didn't.
that-
Okay.
No, which is okay. Okay, he's. I'll let him know that he's been nominated to volunteer, which I'm sure that he will be more than happy to do that. So he was
Okay.
very happy to do that tour last time. So I'm sure we can bring him into the fold on this one, assuming he's in town.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I will see everybody next week.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.